It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And, like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the Magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared. And sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead, I became part of their story.
So, still a bit groggy, are we? Don't worry, the sedative will wear off soon enough. Easy now, no need to hurry. Get your bearings and report to me upstairs.
Well, look what the dog dug up. You're lucky they didn't notice just how thin you were under those bandages. Although, seeing someone wrapped up like that, they probably thought you had the scabbing plague. Heh? Look, laugh, but don't touch. Better keep that hood down, mind you. The living don't take kindly to seeing their future staring back at them.
And with that, the adventure has begun. And you already have a save, just brilliant. Why do I have Mars enabled? I think I might have Mars enabled. I could have sworn that I turned off the mod for this. Well, that book's going to be useless anyways, so we're not going to worry about that. But I just want to sort out the inventory. Here's our potion. Here's our resurrection scroll, which we won't worry about yet. We're going to be sorting out the hotbar a lot. But before anything else, this is the gift bag. This is the definitive edition of the game, which allows you to get some pretty cool stuff. We're going to enable a couple of these. What we're going to do is enable Endless Runner. We're going to enable Pet Power. Oh wait. Okay, we're not actually going to enable Pet Power. I thought it was something else. We're going to enable Fort Joy Magic Mirror. We won't be using... Well, we won't really need it, but we're going to have it there anyways. This is a sorting system, but it's actually kind of annoying. We're not going to enable Divine Talents. Not going to enable Combat Randomizer. And this allows people to use bartering and all the thing, but Animal Empathy, I think. Yeah, Animal Empathy is Pet Pal. That's why I didn't take it, because we're going to use it anyways, because screw it. We won't need from the ashes for what I'm going for. And 9 lives, we're not going to use it, but we're also going to take this. Achievements will be disabled, but I have all the achievements anyways. I will talk about when achievements can happen. Most of them take up very certain things. Like, I guess this is a good time to talk about. There are legacy characters that you need to beat the game with. Particularly Ifan Ben Mezd, Thane, and Luster. They have character-specific endings, and Thane, you have to pretty much get all of his endings. That's why people do speed one of them, because he gets 4 achievements at the end of the game. But now at the... oh yeah, the 8 action points is a combat thing. We're not going to worry about that yet. Also not going to use that pie-sized evolved thing, because we don't need to. Now, I think I could show... well, obviously like the skull said, if we... like, we're undead, so if we take the hood down, and people see we're undead, they're going to attack us. There's another reason why I'm playing it like this, but it's not too big of a worry. Because we're going to end up in a lot of fights anyways.
An animal's die.
But holding down Alt allows you to basically see stuff on the ground that you can loot. It can be useful at times, but it can also be a kind of annoying skill. There you go. Get the key. I'm going to talk to the sheep.
Fluffy coat, the sheep eyes you balefully, her rectangular eyes like letterboxes to the void. With one sharp hoof, she kicks you right in the shin.
Banded like a chicken's leg, but not much meat on your bones.
The depth of unamused ennui staring back at you from those ovine eyes is startling.
Are you referring to the ballerina? Oh, so funny, so funny.
With 2 shakes of her stumpy tail, the sheep turns away from you to peruse her hay-filled manger.
Yeah, and when there's dialogue happening, I'm pretty much going to shut up because I've learned. Here we go, we got a letter, which we can double click it to read or right click and click read. And I'm not going to read out all of this. I'm going to leave it on screen for a couple seconds so you guys can just sort of see what it reads. Now what we got here is, well, this is our first case of a locked door. We can't do anything with it. Well, there's technically something I could do. Well, I was going to equip that knife. We can try and pick the lock. You usually need a lockpick, but if you're an undead character, you don't have to worry about that because you're bony fingers.
Ah, that click. This floor plate triggered something.
Some doors can't be clicked, but there are ways around them, such as this for a puzzle. And did I take Persuasion? I did take Persuasion 1. So, we're going to talk to this guy.
Hey, get me out of this cage and I'll make it worth your while. You in? Set me free and I'll set you free. A fair trade, I should think. Your guess is as good as mine. Someone screamed loud as a banshee. After that, pure pandemonium. They never even told me what I was accused of. Just dragged me down here. A gentleman among jesters, you are. Give that lever a pull, and I guarantee we'll both get something out of the deal.
Before you can even touch the lever, you hear a sniff and snort behind you as the snoring magister mumbles himself awake. One bloodshot eye opens, and then another.
I know we're in the middle of dialogue, but I'm going to show this. There's a little hand of gold. You can trade with people. In fact, we could actually sell a poly-sized vault book. Because I'm not going to use it.
Is my shift over? You here to relieve me? Wait, you're no magister. You're a sorcerer. What are you doing here, filthy lizard? Choose your words carefully. My fists ache to meet a new face.
Now we do have some options here. Sometimes you need a specific stat with Persuasion. to get through stuff. If you're ever in a situation like that, just figure out what you have. Like right now, it'd be here, wouldn't it? No? Ah yeah, it would be stats like this. So my highest stat between Risk, Constitution and Finesse. Well, it's Constitution. Easily. Persuasion success.
Damn. If it's not one thing, it's another. And no way I can trust those fools to deal with any nonsense on their own. Can't leave the prisoner alone, though. He's been nothing but trouble, I hear.
And obviously here, intelligence or memory will go with memory persuasion, since it's higher. Success.
That's all I needed to hear. Just don't let that caged rascal fool you. You can't trust him as far as you can throw him.
And we're gonna let this guy out. And he immediately starts a fight. However, if we just release this guy, like... You can persuade the guard to release this guy himself. And this guy will betray you. So, no matter what, you're in a fight here. So, we're gonna start off with Conjure Incarnate. This is a fantastic skill. Summons a little incarnate. When you summon something in the game, it pretty much guesses, well, it guesses the next turn regardless of what happens. So we're gonna go for our elemental totem. When you place an elemental totem, it gets an element based on obviously what's around here. Simply incarnate, it now has fireball because they spawned on fire. This is a fire totem because, well, do I need to say it? So right now, we could do this.
The prisoner's buoyant voice darkens as his gaze finds the sunken hollows that once held your eyes.
Oh, freedom. Tastes better than wine. I'm nothing if not a man of my word. And I did give my word I'd set you free, lad. Say your prayers while you've breath to speak them. The halls await.
Yeah, he enters the fight no matter what. We could have actually forced the fight from him, but we didn't. So, yeah, this is what D8 action points does. It technically doesn't affect us. What we're going to do, you can summon a totem on oil, and it's actually higher than this guy. So it's actually going to do extra damage because of the high ground bonus. That is Fleet Foot. And we're going to use Sucker Punch, which knocks him down. Now he can't play. And I can just walk away. Boom. And yeah. This fight isn't difficult by any stretch of the word. But it is a fight you can miss. But now we can just lose some stuff. Sweet. It's the exact same letter we found before. There's going to be a lot of repeated fame. There you go. A scroll. Scrolls are one-time skills you can use on characters, which is cool. However, I'm not going to use them for the purpose. Like, I could obviously use an actual discharge, but we can actually technically learn it later on if you feel like it. Oh, we don't need that. I almost picked up an oil barrel. We don't need it. Oil barrels are cool for a specific purpose. But that purpose will not help us. Because if we were to drink that potion, we'd actually take damage. Because we're undead. What we need is just more of this. However, there's an empty potion ball, which I guess I could try and show stuff right now. There is a crafting system in the game. I will be using it occasionally, but mostly for super important stuff that I want to show off. I need to remember how to craft. Oh dear God, I don't remember how to craft. Okay, it's that. But what you do is you pick up an item. And obviously another combine. Oh, it's an invalid combination apparently. Well, that is nice. I could have sworn that was something, but We'll not worry about. Do stuff to combine. Like, I guess the best way to do is actually pick up this poison barrel. Because you can create poison bottles, which they'll heal me, so why not? And I guess I could keep that barrel. The barrel is infinite use. And there's no key in here, so we can actually just... Well, I think we should be able to pick the lock. It cannot be picked. I don't think I ever found a key to this room, but there's not really much in there anyways. We can take a look. The only real thing you can do instead is attack the door and kill it, since there's a health value. Yeah, like if you take a look, there's a stool, there's some cards. But this is just to show you that you can loop around.
And I'm back where I started. Nowhere to go but up.
You know, it's just kind of cool. But we're going to leave the tutorial. We're going to leave the tutorial deck. Right around here, there is more than pestle and cooking pot. We'll take that. We'll read a small tome. And yeah, I was saying about source calls, which we have it equipped. Basically, we can't use source skills. We won't be able to use them for a while anyways. Which are pretty handy skills. But obviously our character is Godwalker and he is judged by society for being able to use source because of obviously the woman that was at the start of the game. A jug.
Why, you're looking... There you are. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not to worry. Every dog has to get used to its leash.
Let's see how much gold we can get. 51. We don't need 51 gold. Jeez.
Yes, this is a rare kind of magic.
There you
I'll
go.
need to write to
And what you can do is... Say, for example, I want to buy back the orange. You can click the scales and it'll evenly price gold. But only gold. It will not take items.
In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest, and he's the chap in charge of the logs. You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters.
no known associates. In fact, he seems quite...
Don't you dare! If you violate the virtue of my carpet, I'll do a good thing worse than put a collar around your neck.
Index fingers pressed to her lips, she pauses a moment to give you a scrutinizing gander.
My word, you do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Perhaps I was a bit too generous with that sedative. Oh, well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. Eventually. In the meantime, all you need to know is that we're en route to Fort Joy. A new life awaits, and if you're a particularly good boy, perhaps a cure as well. An end to Source. For good.
She frowns and peers at you closely, concern clearly etched upon her face.
Delusions such as these are rare, but not unheard of. I recommend a cup of mulled wine and another night's sleep. Just take it easy. Why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those Source spells of yours? See what happens. Oh, do go on. I won't hold it against you. Promise. My, aren't we a meek little lamb? Perhaps I needn't have collared you at all, though it does look darling on you. So let's just leave it on, shall we? Because to answer your question, what this collar does is this. It makes you unable to cast Source. For your own peace of mind, of course. Yours and the whole world's.
We take our leave.
Did the murderer take him into this room?
But yeah, obviously this legacy characters also, like, well, this custom characters like the legacy characters.
Good gods.
basically, I think at the end of Divinity Original Sin 1, you and the other legacy characters get captured. I'm not sure, I haven't played it. I do intend to play it, but having to make a
Behind the
let's be on it, I don't
a
know.
bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd angles. You can't make out a face amid the mess.
There's been a murder. A sorcerer was killed by one of your own. Lucky you were busy getting your collar fitted at the time, or you'd be a suspect like the rest of them. Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. Always does. Aren't you enterprising? I'll let Waters tell you now herself. Go ahead. She with the body.
A young magister stands pale and silent. Her knuckles whiten around her weapon as you pass.
That's strange, this character usually is different from game to game. But well. We will talk to this magister.
Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did this. Finn didn't see it like that. He was desperate for us to help him. Two things scared the living daylights out of him. His own shadow and his own source. We'll find out who did this. Speaking of,
She looks up at you with a mirthless smile.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You were asleep the whole time. Didn't even stir. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course. Figured as much. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among the passengers. Sometimes they clam up in front of a uniform. Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that? Not in here, it isn't. You let me know if you hear anything. Whoever did this is dangerous.
Now, there is something special we can do. I don't think we can do it. Oh wait, we can. Broken source card, but we picked up a chunk of flesh. Now, if we were an elf, we could eat it. Sometimes when you eat flesh in the game, you will gain a skill. In this case, you will not gain a skill, but you will actually figure out this quest immediately, which is pretty cool. But I believe you're meant to sneak around and listen to everyone else to figure out who the murderer is. But
I'm not suited for this. It's sea cow, not sea sheep. Haven't got any shoes, have you? People these days.
But I'll have to figure out how to do this quest without being an elf, because obviously it's some XP. But we're going to take this bedroll, which fantastic item. How the bedroll works is it fully heals you. Cannot complain about that. But I think I will end. Actually, how long have I been recording? 24 minutes. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna end this episode right here, so I can figure out how to do this quest without being an elf. So, next episode we're gonna go around, figure out the mystery, and talk to the legacy characters, because they're all here. Like, you can see the Red Prince, you can see Beast, you can see Seville, Lufsa, you can see everyone here, so we're gonna talk to him. So I'll see you guys then.